Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another video of the F1 Project Phoenix 2022 Career Mode. Today we're here for episode number 8, the Canadian Grand Prix of Season 2. If you missed the previous episode uploaded last week, remember to go and check that out and subscribe to the channel and you see plenty more of this series. Coming into this one then, obviously Mercedes coming back off a win. Hamilton took pole and pretty much dominated at Baku despite the carnage that unfolded there. As well. Not saying couldn't be said for George Russell, who obviously needs to improve. Still rumours flying about that he could be facing the chop any day now, after not impressing at Mercedes throughout this season really. As well, Ferrari also looking to improve. Leclerc, I mean, he is still second in the championship, but he's not had a very good couple of races for the Ferrari driver. You know, he's looking to try and bounce back now as well, and be helped by Carlos Sainz starting to score a few more points than he has done in recent races. You know, Sainz, another one under pressure as well to perform compared to his teammates up in P2 in the championship as well. Red Bull, of course, still cruising. Verstappen's way out in front. Perez, of course, though, is still being linked with a move away from the team as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But coming to the grid then, Max Verstappen took pole as well by a 1/10.5, but to Lewis Hamilton, back to the usual front two as well. Carlos Sainz, Ferrari batter there, second row lockout. Can they convert this into some decent points? Sainz ahead of Leclerc by half a tenth. All McLaren row 3, they're looking to improve as well. Ricciardo, interestingly, ahead of Norris, or Norris got held up by Vettel in Q3. Myself and Gasly, we have finished start on the 4th row, medium tyres, would be medium tyres, we'll get to that in a moment, to start the race on. Gasly back in the top 10. Alex Albon into Q3, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure a lot of you will like that. In the Williams as well. Giovinazzi into Q3 the second time in a row. Outside the top 10, Lance Stroll, best qualifying of the season at his home Grand Prix. He starts 11th alongside Fernando Alonso, who starts down in P12. George Russell, oh dear, P13, not doing those rumours any good. Sebastian Vettel starts P14. Sergio Perez had a 3-place penalty as well for running wide on his second run as well, so he starts in 15th place alongside Esteban Ocon, disappointing for him. Yuki Tsunoda starts 17th, out in Q1 again alongside Oscar Piastri, who's struggling in the Williams, and the Maserati Andretti's had absolutely no pace here despite getting their first point last time out, so they start on the back row. Time for the race. So yes, to Canada then, and it's raining, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a wet, it's going to be a wet start. We might see if we can get to slicks during the middle. I think there's more rain coming at the end. We'll have a look at the forecast in just a moment. But to Canada then, a track that's not really been a good track for me on this year's game. I haven't really been able to get those wins that I usually do on previous games, but you know, that is the nature of Canada so far. We'll have to see how this car gets on. We are starting up in the top 10, well inside the top 10 again, so yes, confirmation there will be intermediate start. So I thought it might have been a dry start, but it's not. It's an intermediate start, so this will probably end up being a 2-stop race. We'll go and switch to probably mediums because of the tyre wear, and then don't know whether or not it'll be wet enough, because that's a full wet icon at the end of that weather forecast there. So I'm just playing around with the inters to see you know, how long the inters will really ultimately last for on the tyre wear graphic as well. So yes, vibrant light set to a wet start. Canadian Grand Prix. Fight lights out on one rain. It's an okay start. I mean, slightly better than Norris. I'm going to try and dive down the inside of Norris. Contact. Oh! Full car. That was like a Hungary. The safety car is out. It should have been a red flag. Something. Those 4 cars are out at turn 1, and it was Daniel Ricciardo, I think that was, in the McLaren, diving it up the inside. What was he thinking of trying to take Carlos Sainz in that corner? Hamilton had a slow start, but Ricciardo caused that incident. So we saw obviously Sainz got cut off, annihilated by Ricciardo, and then Leclerc got unlucky as well. So the safety car's out. Verstappen leads the Grand Prix from myself. Alex Albon is 3rd in a Williams. So yes, and this is a Williams that hasn't been quite there this season as well. So we're down to 16 runners, but the safety car comes in then at the end of lap number 3 as well, owing to the cars just disappearing altogether at lap 4. Start of lap 4. Had a little thinker going round Verstappen's outside, but nothing doing them. Retain what is P2 at the moment as we're watching Russell making a move on Alonso, and Alonso's been swooped out, and there's a pile up and a half. And just like that, we're down to 11 runners, and we've had 7 laps. We had some laps, not very many. There's absolute carnage at turn 1. We're down to 11 runners. Pretty much everybody behind him came in, but eventually we are going to get this underway. However, we need to have a little word, Codemasters, because there's still debris here at turn 2. It's not on the racing line, but there is still debris, and you know, in real life that debris would have been cleared. Obviously, there's another safety car for it. Well, that's safety car number 3. So we've had 3 safety cars in 8 laps as well. And under this 3rd safety car then, on the end of lap number 9, we are going to come in. Giovinazzi, I think is that Stroll? Not Stroll, Vettel, or Stroll or Vettel, one of the Aston Martins, a couple of cars continue on. As we've got a front wing change. I didn't see anything on that heads-up display or anything. That's a disaster. We've coming out in last place. So we were on, well, for a good podium, 2nd place, and now it's disastrous. We've got a lot of work to do if we want to get back up to 2nd place. And as well, the safety car is going to come, He's going to come in at the end of lap number 10 as well. So we're going to dive down the inside. Norris at turn 1, nicely done. Try and get back to the racing line as soon as possible. We don't want to punch from all that debris that's left as well. So as well as this is a replay of my dive. Well, again, Norris tried to hold it off, but we were able to get past. Good use of ERS there. I imagine Norris was probably saving his up. Really, as Max Verstappen then has a commanding lead over the 2nd place man, Alex Albon. 3rd is Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. 4th is Gasly ahead of I think 5th place is there's another safety car, number 4, and it's 4 safety cars in 11 laps. So there's nothing changed, but it will allow those others who made that they came in at the end. The 3rd safety car period to catch up, like Giovinazzi, which getting impatient with Russell as well, who did cause all of that carnage, to be fair, by taking out Alonso really. But under the safety car, then 4th safety car came at the end of lap number 13, and we're going to do a deja vu move as we did on Norris. Still a bit of debris there that the Codemasters haven't made disappear. Well, there's another one. It's 5. Oh, for goodness sake! And I think that's Perez in actually on the mini map. As I say, Perez is not. You know, this would be a kind of race that Red Bull would be expecting Perez to be up there with Verstappen, but 2nd place. But Perez is coming in. Don't know if he's got damage or not, but he's coming for a set of soft tyres. as well. It's not yet. On the restart then, we're going to go down the inside of Pierre Gasly. Easy move as well. Gasly goes over the debris, but that's just the game for you. Just later, we're going to actually hold out for the rain period, because it is going to be coming with all these safety cars, the 5 that we've had. Having a look at Stroll, but was getting quite, excuse me, a lot, try to get in there, and that's going to allow Russell to have a go at the inside, but then we keep the move, keep our foot and graze the wall there. Did have a check afterwards, but we haven't lost our front wing as well. Now we've got DRS on Stroll. This is the end of lap 20. We're still behind Stroll and Albon. Verstappen is sailing up into the sunset at this rate. We set a purple sunset to die down the inside of Stroll. We're finally up to P3 as well, as the rain is now arriving here. And the end of lap 21, we're all going to come in for a set of intermediate tyres now. Perfect timing there as DRS is being disabled. We've got far too much fuel, however, from all the 5 safety cars that we've had. No front wing change this time, which is good. 3.1 second stop en route. Just a very slow stop, and just about getting in front of Russell. But look at the gap. Albon has gained time on us in the pit stop. This is not what we needed in our battle to try and get P2 back. Well, and now Russell is all over the back of me with bangled tyres with Russell, so trying to defend what is P4. I think somebody else is still stuck out in the lead there. As we're watching, this is Norris versus Russell. Norris has got ahead at that corner. Russell, though, comes down the inside of him at the hairpin. Norris is going to take the long way round and squeeze Russell out. Is able to get ahead of him, but it won't last. The following lap, Russell comes back at Norris. This time he's the one on the outside, as well as we're all closing in on there. Stroll has lost out to us. He's down to P5 as doing an extra lap. As there is Max Verstappen. Verstappen's in for another stop. I don't know what happened. He got a puncture from the debris or something, but he's come in for another stop, and he's going to lose the race lead. So Alex Albon for Williams leads the Grand Prix. We're back up to P2, but we could have been leading this Grand Prix with 6 laps to go. We've got Russell and Norris still battling out for P3, although saying about Lando Norris, he's poor luck in this series absolutely continues. He's got an engine failure, and Norris is out of the race, unfortunately for him. So we're down to it's been a absolute bloodbath here at Canada. We've lost half the grid as well, most of it a long time ago. But jump to lap 31. This is about the closest we get to Albon. Not really able to make any inroads, and the pace is getting worse. We've a little bit of contact with Russell there, as he's going to go and battle Verstappen now as well. Verstappen unable to get past Verstappen, but through the final corner then, and unable to catch Albon. So Albon has won the Grand Prix for Williams. That's annoying. If we didn't have that front wing change, we would have won this Grand Prix as well. Yes, we probably would have been holding off Albon in the final laps. But what an absolute madness. Verstappen bottled it in the end. Came for a 3rd stop. Perez did 3 stops as well. He was only in 6th place. You see how close in the end were separated by 12 seconds. With 5 safety cars even. No point looking at the bottom half of the grid, because they all retired as well. Both Ferraris, both McLarens, both Alpines, all out of the race. No points for them. They'll be disappointed. Both Maserati Andretti's as well, both out the race as well. So in terms of the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen actually extended his lead over second place Charles Leclerc, who hasn't scored for 2 races now, thanks to Daniel Ricciardo in this race. George Russell's back up to P3 with his podium. I move up to further clear into P6, and we've now moved level with Daniel Ricciardo. So we're in a good position as well, maybe to get some of the bigger teams noticing. Who knows, with our good consistent results there. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull is still far in front. Mercedes now pull away from Ferrari and McLaren, who didn't score. We're actually very closing in. Williams move up to 6th, Aston Martin up to 7th. And Williams have got a bit of breathing room as well, thanks to Albon's win. So that's a good result for the Williams team. That's going to might ensure them P6, you never know. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe channel if you see plenty more F1 2021 related gameplay. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day and goodbye.